my name is Megan, and today I've got some of my favorite Christmas moments from books for you. Alright, so we've got a little bit of everything mixed in today. So we've got middle grade, we've got YA, we've got urban fantasy, we've got paranormal romance, and just straight up vampire romance. These were like the first books that popped into my head when I was thinking, what's a good Christmas scene from a book? So we're gonna start off with the middle grade ones today. So the first one that really made me think of Christmas was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This is technically, it's the second book in the Chronicles of Narnia. So this one makes me think of Christmas just because of the way of its setting. So these kids are being shipped off to live in this manor house in the countryside of England, and Lucy, as we all know, finds the entrance to Narnia in the back of the wardrobe, and it's full on like snowing and Christmassy, and it always brings to mind this beautiful Christmassy winter wonderland when I read this. So the next book in this little Christmas scenes would have to be Harry Potter. I couldn't do this list without having Harry Potter on here because Harry Potter is like almost a Christmas staple at this point for a lot of people, and the way that Christmas is described in this is just so sweet and lovely. And Ron spending his Christmas break with Harry at the school when Harry won't go home for Christmas, and especially in the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone book when Harry gets the invisibility cloak and they go on these cool adventures, and you know, Harry gets his first Weasley sweater. That's just so sweet. So now we're moving into the YA kind of books that I have. This first one is First Test. So I know I talked about this book a whole lot, but this one has a really sweet Christmas scene in it, or a midwinter's festival scene, and Kel buys her friends gifts and she overthinks some of them, like whether or not she should get something personal for them or just something kind of like sweet, and just her spending time with her friends. I just kind of love the feeling of a snowed-in castle and like kind of a school setting as well, so it's really just so sweet. This next one is kind of a little bit out there because it's not necessarily Christmassy, but it is very wintry, and that would be Carry On. This one has a really sweet Christmassy kind of scene between Simon and Baz, and that's kind of when they share their first kiss, and Simon stays over at Baz's house during the winter holidays because Simon doesn't really have a family, and it's them getting to know each other. And Agatha building like gingerbread houses, and you know, there's a full-on Christmas get-together kind of in there at Agatha's house, and it's just really sweet and interesting, and I love it. So the next three books are all in the urban fantasy kind of, and they're actually all from the same series, and that would be the Elemental Assassin series. So we've got Spider's Revenge, Tangled Threads, and Unraveled. This is book 3, 4, and 15, I think. So these first two have some really interesting holiday scenes. So this first one, we have the holiday party where Jen and her sister Bria are getting back to being a family because they both thought the other was dead at some point, and in this book they kind of figure out that they aren't dead. So this one is kind of them reconnecting at a Christmas party, and it's just really, really cool and innocent and sweet. And then book 4 is Jen going and trying to assassinate somebody and actually interrupts an assassin's game, and Jen is actually the target of this assassination game, and whoever, you know, assassinates her gets a huge prize. So that's fun, running around in the snow, almost, you know, trying to avoid all of these other assassins in the middle of winter. That's pretty interesting. Hey guys, future Megan here. So I realized as I was filming this part of the video that I got my books mixed up. So the first book that I'm actually talking about is Tangled Threads. The next book that I'm talking about is Spider's Revenge. Anyway, back to the main video. And then Unraveled, book 15 in the Elemental Assassins series. So we skip a whole bunch of books to get back to Christmas. So Jen's foster brother Finn finds out that his mom left him this like cowboy western themed theme park, and they go down and it's all decked out for Christmas and the holidays. And again, there's like this weird treasure hunt going on for people trying to find all of these jewels and diamonds to, you know, get a cool prize. But then there's also these like assassins that are like trying to find all of these gems so they don't have to give them to regular people, and it's just a really fun game. And so now we are moving on to the paranormal romance section. So this is the last section for this video today. That is Succubus Blues. So this one, there's actually a really, really good like Christmas scene of like one of Jen's vampire buddies setting a Christmas tree on fire, and I'm not sure if it's in this first book or the second book. I could not find the exact scene, but I do remember there being a Christmas tree set on fire, and then everybody else like buying a new Christmas tree because Georgina doesn't want to celebrate Christmas anymore after, you know, somebody set her Christmas tree on fire. So then everybody just kind of gangs up on her and gives her all these different cool Christmas trees, and that's one of my favorite things about this book. It's just like such an absurd scene, and then all of a sudden there's like Christmas trees everywhere after, you know, getting the one set on fire. So then this last book is all Christmas themed. It's set, I think it's set on Christmas Eve, but it's been a while since I've read it, and that would be Thanks for the Memories. This book is following these brothers, and they are vampires, and they own a nightclub. This particular book follows Reese, and he goes to another bar to find, you know, somebody to take a drink from or whatever, and he stumbles upon Jane, who is our main female character in this. They kind of have like this instant like connection, and Jane has been looking for a new job. That job doesn't go through, so she winds up at this bar with a suitcase and is like ready to go home and not talk to anybody, and she runs into this man who she doesn't know is a vampire. Somehow they make it to Ree's house, and somehow Reese ends up with amnesia and doesn't remember that he's a vampire, and it's kind of like this cool love story about Reese getting his memories back, but also Jane turning into a vampire, and it's just a sweet romance, and it's very Christmassy themed, and there's Christmas everywhere. It's kind of cute. So those are some of my favorite Christmas scenes from books. What's one of your guys' favorite Christmas scenes? Let me know down below. And quick little announcement before I do my sign off. I will not be posting a video on the 24th because that's Christmas Eve, and I know people have plans. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the notification button, and if you'd like to follow me on social media, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!